Hi guys! So today I'm talking to you from a new angle. Exciting, right? Anyway, so May is over. May is my favorite month of the year because it's my birthday month. Oh, it's gonna only get worse as I get agier and agier. So after a long time I thought I would make a favorites video because after a long time I actually feel like I've discovered a lot of great things the past month and I want to share them with you. Let's start with tea. No, that's not a favorite. Well, that's like a lifetime favorite. Milk, no sugar. So my top love of May is this book, and this is the third book from Alain de Botton that I've read. He does have this style of writing that I find very soothing. Like, my mind can be all over the place, and if you have the same feeling about your brain, maybe he's gonna be soothing for you too. Sometimes he's regarded to as, like, you know, modern time, intelligent, self-help book writer, and yeah, that's pretty much what it is. But you know, instead of, you know, being that sort of American, like, yeah, you can do it, like, here's a blank page, write all the things you want to do, sort of self-help, he's more into, like, you know, you should turn to art, or, you know, think about religion as an atheist, or, you know, in this case, this is a book that's about love, about relationships, about how maybe romanticism as a, you know, a philosophy that people very often adopt when they enter relationships and when they're trying to sustain them might not be the best philosophy to live your life with. If you've never been in a long-term relationship, I think this book is not going to be very easy to relate to for you, so I would really recommend this only for people who have been in a long-term relationship or married, or, you know, have kids, anywhere, you know, on that scale. Just like if you're still just kind of on of dating, this might not be all that relevant to you, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just think that for me, certain parts of this book were hard to relate to. For example, the parts about having kids, because, like, that's not something I've ever done. I haven't gone through it. I don't ever really think about it, so, you know, that for me is not helpful or relevant. But parts about, you know, long-term relationships and how to seriously just, like, get prepared for living with someone for the rest of your life, this book is great. And I got it signed as well. Next thing is a Scottish-based artist who is an illustrator who applies her illustrative art onto luxury scarves, and I've actually noticed her work ages ago. I think it was like on the TK Maxx website, and I never even thought she was Scottish. I knew that she was probably British because, you know, I found her website and all that. Kitty! Hello, kitty! I found her website and I looked around her stuff, and it was clear that she's, you know, from the island. Anyway, you know, since then I started following her on various social media channels, and I noticed that she has a sample sale in Edinburgh, and I noticed that she has a studio in Edinburgh. I'm not sure if she's here all the time, doesn't really matter. She's Scottish. Her name is Karen Maybon, or, you know, in my head I always say like Melbourne, but if she's Scottish, probably Maybon. Yeah, I'm gonna link to her website in the doobly-doo. Yeah, and I managed to buy 2 scarves, and they were so cheap. As in, you know, normally when you buy her silk scarves, they are like actual, like, luxury items with the bonus of having awesome illustrations on them. Like, there's one scarf that has, like, you know, foxes and garbage. I love it. Like, it's beautiful, but it has foxes and garbage on it. I just love that, you know, okay, if I wanted to sound pretentious, I would say I love the juxtaposition of, you know, this, like, gross theme of, you know, animals living in the city eating someone's trash, you know, and it's printed on this, like, perfect quality silk. Well, that's what it is. That's why I find it so interesting. I just don't really want to be pretentious about it. Anyway, I managed to get 2. One of them is called the Beverly Hills Pool, or Beverly Hills Poolside. The other one is called the Bake Shop. I managed to get each of these for only £30, which was a great success for me, even though I can't afford even that right now. Okay, one thing that wasted a lot of my time in the past 3 weeks is a game, and it's The Witcher 3. Now, when I say wasted my time, I don't mean it. Like, if I find a game I get this into, I love it, I really appreciate it. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate the work of all the game designers and writers and everyone so much. Like, games, you know, they take so much work to make, especially when they're, you know, big open world games. And this one specifically has such great story, and I think that partially it's because there's this clear inspiration by Slavic mythology, and you know, I'm Czech and I grew up with, you know, things like, you know, Baba Yaga and all of these, Rusalka, whatever. Like, you almost never really see these monsters in Western sort of fantasy settings, and I really miss that. Like, the only other game that I remember these things being in was Quest for Glory 4, which is still one of my favorite games, and I always say that, you know, the Slavic mythology inspiration there is one of the reasons why that's like my favorite childhood game, and The Witcher might as well become my favorite adult game. The storytelling really gets you involved, and I usually don't like games where I have to roleplay as like a set character, but oh my god, Geralt of Rivia, he's so like, women want to be with him, men want to be him, and he's amazing. In Czech, with my best friend, we coined this phrase for this, it's tichý nabíječ. A good example of tichý nabíječ would be, you know, like your normal like lumberjack type, like quite, you know, big and sort of manly, but also fairly sort of silent and, you know, like thinky. And when he does say something, it's, yeah, it's worth it. So that's what Geralt is. And I wasn't ready to like him so much, but I do. The last thing I want to mention is Artist of the Month, and that's Dick Vincent. Dick Vincent is an English illustrator, and I found his stuff by accident on, I think that's on Etsy or somewhere, maybe Tumblr, I'm not entirely sure. He does have an Etsy shop, and he does have a great Instagram feed. You know, link in the doobly-doo again. His themes are mostly like kind of, you know, getting back into the wilderness, you know, there's a lot of like sort of old school camping and tramping sort of thing going on. Also animals, he clearly loves animals, and like archaeology and like, you know, old school scientists and things like that. And his art style is amazing, and when I got things sent from him from his Etsy shop, which by the way is not overpriced at all, so if you want to buy like a small print, like a postcard sized print, it's not gonna cost you almost any money, and he's gonna write the address and, you know, your name in his really unique, amazing handwriting. And it was like my favorite part of ordering from him is that he has this very specific style of, you know, handwriting, and he uses it when he sends out the Etsy stuffs too, and it just makes me so happy. I don't know why. Those were the things that I want you to think about for maybe, you know, trying out in June. I'm gonna try and, you know, see if I can be just as cultured and interesting this month, so, you know, I might get back to you next month. I am considering making more of these vlogs, but putting them on a sub channel, like a kind of like a more vloggy channel, so this one can stay kind of fairly undiluted sort of travel, food and art channel, and the other one would be just like, you know, possibly day-to-day life and, you know, ramblings and things like this, you know, monthly favorites, maybe even some of like girly shit, you know, like makeup. You know, you can let me know what you think about that. It's probably gonna happen, but I'd love to hear your opinion on this, because your opinion matters to me. In the meantime, please feel free to follow me on Twitter or Instagram, and obviously if you subscribe to me here, that would be absolutely amazing. Okay guys, bye!